Radiant team ban.
All right.
Oh.
And here we go with the first game of Next Gen Gaming. There's a brand new tournament that's busy going on in South Africa. We're trying to get a little bit more of the hype back, you know, get everything going. Telkom can't do it, so we got to do it ourselves. Joining me tonight is Graham, otherwise known as Fox Girls Are Better, because they are.
Yep.
10 seconds
Yeah, they're
remaining.
just better than everything. We have
And my name is
as per
Steven.
usual.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Radiant
And
team
my name
ban.
is Steven, and I'll be your head caster person tonight. So,
We'll be doing the analysis.
starting us off.
Speaking of,
Yep.
we have two of the better teams in South Africa facing off against each other, White Rabbit Gaming
Oh,
and
yeah.
Energy Esports. Both of them have been to overseas tournaments and have placed
10
very well in
seconds
them.
remaining.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can't exactly get very much better
5
as your
seconds
headline
remaining.
starting game of the night, can you? I mean, like, unless they somehow managed to get, you know, OG or Liquid in here, but
Yeah, no, definitely. This is the top tier
Dire
South African
team
Dota, otherwise known as Caveman Dota, but we'll see what happens in this game.
yeah, good times. Nothing quite like bashing your head against the
Radiant team
opposition team
ban.
until they fall over. So, we're starting off with Ricky Ban. It's fairly regular nowadays. He's been making some serious waves out of nowhere in the professional scene. And on both sides,
10
you know, back
seconds
and forth,
remaining.
nothing necessarily given away just yet. We got the Lena following up the Ricky,
5
and on the other
seconds
side, we got
remaining.
Clockwork and Bounty Hunter getting banned
Dire
up.
team ban.
So Death Prophet's just been banned by Energy Esports. That's just a fairly strong pick all around.
Radiant team
Yeah,
ban.
Void Spirit
these days.
following up on the same thing. Just good
The
good
Lena
picks that
pick
are being
is-
banned out.
The Lena pick is very interesting though, because that's probably the Energy Esports reading into White Rabbit Gaming's usual picks. Either that, or they're going for someone that's vulnerable to burst or lockdown.
Yeah, you know,
10
that
seconds
does
remaining.
make sense. You know, there might be. Well, could we be looking at an Enchantress or something along
5
those lines?
seconds remaining.
We could be looking at an Enchantress, maybe Phantom Assassin, depending on the support picks from
Yes.
White Rabbit, obviously.
Yeah. Now, Enchantress is your first go-to when you say you're trying to get rid of some magic burst damage. She's usually your main culprit there. But I suppose at the moment you can see there are just good bans coming out. Bounty Hunter very, very strong at the moment. He works well with the ganking lineup. He works
Dire
well in a
team,
5-man. He does fairly well in defense as well, although that's not necessarily his deal. And
Radiant team pick.
and in reply, we have a Kotl and Kunka being banned out. So, again, both very, very good anti-pushers and team fighters on both sides. Kotl, also another hero, very, very good in the meta at the moment. His old Will-O-Wisp is just so strong.
Blinding Light also against physical lineups is just annoying to deal with. It looks like both
Yeah.
teams are
10
banning
seconds remaining.
more out of what they don't want to deal with more than what they're actually scared of, because
5
Kuka and
seconds
Clockwork are
remaining.
both also very annoying. They've been banned
Yeah,
out
they're
by
very
White
good
Rabbit,
at very good at disrupting fights, and also not just disrupting but causing fights. I'll apologize in advance. My microphone picks up when I put my cup down sometimes. So if you hear whoop, 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 that's not intentional.
Energy is spending a lot of time on this pick. This will give us more of an insight into what the rest of their draft is around.
Dire team
Yeah.
pick.
Well, I suppose on the first round of both of them, we're going to be able to have a good idea. Grimstruck, very, very well, well-rounded pick at the moment. He's probably going to be our fifth. I have seen him as a fourth, but he's a very, very high-level character at the moment. Definitely in the
Dire
top tier of
team
supports. And same can be said for AA.
Energy Esports has left in their pool a lot of heroes to combo with Grimstroke. You still have Benj, you still have Sven.
Radiant
There's
team
Doom.
pick.
Doom's a good old-fashioned meme. There also might be a Lich.
This is a cheese build coming out from White Rabbit. Clinks and
Well, yeah, you got the Ice Blast, right? So the Ice Blast is going to be a global thing. They drop it on top of someone's face and Clinks pops up and finishes off the deal.
10 seconds remaining.
AA is also just the AA is just
remaining.
also a good natural counter to try and maybe ward off a
Radiant team
Morphling,
ban.
who's very strong at the moment. Speaking of very strong at the moment, we have a Larkin. So looks like energy with the Larkin, you're definitely pushing towards a more early game quick push. We want to get in your face and try and clean things up as quickly as possible. But the same can kind of be said for Clinks though on the other side.
10 seconds remaining.
From what little we've seen of the draft, it looks like this is very much a best
5
of one
seconds remaining.
meta build. Both of them are going for
Yeah.
pushes and then just fairly solid
headbutt.
supports to back them up.
Yeah, I'll just complete headbutt into the wall, do as much damage with like as little effort as possible. So yeah, you're right. It definitely looks like what might be called an all or nothing team strategy at the moment so far.
Another interesting thing to consider is you can play Clinks in a fourth
10
position as a
seconds
support.
remaining.
Because of that,
I have seen that.
puts it down in a team fight and it just causes chaos.
Yes, yeah, no, I have seen that, and his that ability to deny. I'm not sure his. I'm trying to remember what the ability's name is. Where he takes over a creep, he basically denies or eats a creep and gains the health. Do you know if that can target ally creeps?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
No, it can only target enemies with Death Pact.
Can only target enemies. Thank you. As I was just thinking, as a fourth, that would be a nice little thing, you know, bring back the good old days of the Lich where he used to sacrifice a creep for mana, and it was very good at denying away lane very early. Same thing as with Enigma.
Interesting thing that most people don't know about the
Radiant
Death
team
Pact. If you throw down your skeletons from your ult, you can Death Pact the skeletons.
That is interesting. That's some have heard of that. I can't imagine why you'd want to, but good advice. So Axe, very good sort of opposition pick to the Larkin, because your Larkin wants to run around free reign around the team fight and just cause
10
a
seconds
breakup in their
remaining.
team. And Axe can, you know, regardless of BKB, he
5
can call
seconds
him and hold him
remaining.
in place for his team to beat him up quickly. That always does tend to seem
Dire
to be the
team
biggest
pick.
issue when it comes to a Larkin, is he likes to run around and do his own chaos, and until you've got a way to properly lock him down, you're always going to have problems. And to continue on the theory of the rolling fight, there's a Tusk.
That Tusk is very much a counter pick to the Axe. It was a reactionary pick. As soon as they saw
10
the Axe
seconds
pick, it
remaining.
was just Tusk. Because if someone gets called by Axe, Tusk can
5
Yeah, snowball.
seconds
pull them into the
remaining.
snowball and keep them safe.
Ah, yes. Well, and it also is a very nice natural continuation, right? I mean, the Larkin plus Tusk, you know, you're still going to have very broken up team fights where Tusk gets to roll into the back line and they can separate up with our shards. And in the brawly sense with the tag team where everybody's just doing extra damage.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, Walrus Punch hurts with Clinks.
And
I'll go for
that
White Rabbit.
is a very good pick, I think. Nog at the moment, very strong hero as it is, but again, that breakup of team fight where you get to sort of stop everything, reset. If you catch one of the god songs, you get to walk Axe into the middle of the entire enemy team and just
10
call them to
seconds
death.
remaining.
Yeah, you can start seeing the wombo combo forming up here, where you've got your song
5
into Axe
seconds
call with the
remaining.
Ice Blast on top. So there's definitely something that energy you're going to have to keep an eye out for. Just make sure that they never bunched up in a place where they can get taken advantage of.
Speaking of, for saving people, Energy's draft, Oracle's still in the
Yeah.
pool, which is a fairly good support combo with
Dire team ban.
I can imagine why. Oh, puck.
my favorite
Wow.
hero coming out.
Very nice. I gotta say, energy are just doubling down again on this broken up team fight, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely. All their heroes are also very slippery and very hard to deal with.
Radiant team
Grimstroke
ban.
can put his stun on himself like he can just run away.
Yeah, well, not that you would ever want your Grimstroke to be in the front line, but he's still one of the harder supports to lock down, as it were. And especially with a Tusk around.
Yeah, Broodmother ban coming out for White Rabbit Gaming, that would just be very difficult to deal with. They have the axe, but not much else.
10
No, the
seconds
problem is
remaining.
Axe can only do so much, eh? I mean, one of my
5
favorite little
seconds remaining.
loony counters to Broodmother is the sorry, it's the Legion Commander, but I do not think that they want to have to pick a Legion.
Yeah, no. That would just cause chaos for who's a support, who's a core on the White Rabbit Gaming side.
Yeah. But this is your little pub pick of the day, shall we say? Have you seen a Broodmother on the opposition team? Pick Legion, go against her. Make her make Spiderlings, watch what happens.
A lot of thought going into this ban for energy. They're definitely thinking what they definitely don't want to deal with.
Radiant
Well, they
team
need to get rid of... that was not a ban I was going to expect, I must admit. But they were quite locked in with their 5th pick there, you can tell for sure. And I don't even think there was a second between the deny and the pick. Or the ban and the pick,
Yeah.
excuse me.
That ban was definitely a guard ban for the Shadow Fiend because Lone Druid mid is just hell
Yeah.
to deal with if you're a Shadow
10
Fiend.
seconds
He
remaining.
ruins the sort of
5 seconds remaining.
laning stage of Shadow Fiend or any right clicker, actually, for that matter.
Especially right clickers with low health, which Shadow Fiend is.
Yes. Well, and looking back, you can kind of see a pattern occurring now that it's actually been shown. And I'm wondering if White Rabbit weren't considering maybe picking a Shadow Fiend themselves.
Yeah, if you look at the bans, they did ban off a lot of pick-off heroes. What you need to deal with a Shadow Fiend.
That was what I was thinking, you know, like Templar, Kunkka, and Void are all very good against Shadow Fiend mid.
Yeah, and Clockwork and Bounty Hunter cause him no end of trouble through.
Alright, well, I guess we'll never know, but from what it looks like, it could very well have been a very good stolen pick from Energy themselves. But, so now we're just gonna wait for that last sort of pickup. What do you think would be a good way to deal with these guys? Do you see maybe an Enigma? Well, we're gonna find out. It's a
Choose your
Windrunner.
hero.
So you get to see both of your favorite heroes in one game. Which one are you voting for?
So good, man. I don't know. The Windrunner is very hard to place because they need to decide whether the Naga or the Windrunner is going to go mid against the Shadow Fiend.
Well, would you not see your Clinks mid?
Well, they could put the Windrunner in a support role, but that would just cause trouble. Try and balance all the different items that characters need to come online.
Understandable. Well, I guess we're not going to be waiting for very much longer. If we were perhaps more knowledgeable in the names, we could have probably been
10
a bit more
seconds
certain about it, but well, we're just going to have to find out. And
5 seconds
so,
remaining.
bets on who's going to win here? You want to just take a shot in the dark there, or are you going to sit on the fence?
Well, if it's a Windrunner core, then the side of White Rabbit Gaming has a lot more sustainable push, but Energy Esports can burst down towers so quickly. If they have Shadow Fiend and Lycan on the same tower and he roars, just amazing amounts of damage.
Yeah. Well, so it sounds like you're leaning towards Energy then?
I would say Energy can deal with the broken up fights and team fights equally as well, whereas White Rabbit Gaming seems like they need to force an engagement.
Alright. Well, I have to agree. I think I'm leaning towards Energy here. I don't think there's any huge unevenness as far as the drafts go, but I'm definitely leaning towards Energy at the moment. And so, it looks like we're going to be having a Windrunner mid with the Clinks and Axe offlane. So there's your 4th Clinks that you were expecting. Then we're going to have the Naga along with High on the AA and the safe lane combination. And then on the side, we are going to have Mental playing the Tusk. Puck being played by Keck. We're going to have TKC playing on our Grimstroke. Mid Addersdam on the Shadow Fiend. Safe lane, we got Mr. Double O's playing on the Lycan. And Uwu, I guess. I'm not calling him that. No matter how much you insult me.
Oh dear.
Oh, we got a lot of posturing for both of the runes at the moment. Already we have a captured outpost here. Top lane looks like there might be a slight engagement here. They're going to be going on the AA. Very early engagement here. We have the Inkswell already coming up, and it looks like Har might just take the down for this. Yep, and we have our first blood already on the Tusk. But on the other side,
it is going to get both runes for it.
That's what I was about to say. Although Puck, Puck's just going to illusory orb up. Nice, easy trade. And so we have ourselves a 3 for 1. Yeah, 3 bounty runes for 1. But the first blood going the way of energy. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the energy. Sorry, just getting used to which side they're on. So
that was all tag team from Tusk there.
Yeah, like I was saying, that early
damage.
That early tag team is so good when you stack heroes up. And so it looks like we're going to be settling in. Are there any lanes here you think are going to go particularly one way or the other?
Well, the Axe Clinks lane might be interesting to watch.
Yes,
because
on the bottom lane we currently have so it looked like they might be going on him there for a second on the bottom, but the block's just not quite good enough from the 2 wolves. There is a lot of damage going out on the Lycan at the moment though. Like you said, the Axe Clinks, just the constant output of damage looks like it might be too much for them, but we'll see as the game goes on if they can try and recover that a bit. Top lane, we have a tag team busy going on Naga. I don't think anything's going to come of it, but it's a good amount of harass. Try to get her out of lane. Last hits at the moment looking relatively even, I want to say. It is leaning slightly towards the side of energy at the moment. You know, all 3 lanes are just a couple last hits ahead. Still very early to say one way or the other, but bit of an early start coming up. And we have in top lane, they're busy going on AA again. We have the tag team going out and the arch shots to hold them in. But I don't think they're going to be able to commit to this with the Naga around. She's still on full health, she's still got illusions, and she's still got that Riptide.
Too much damage output from the Naga to risk going under tower.
It's far too scary.
Speaking of the last hit situations, looks like Shadow Fiend has definitely gotten ahead with 7 Necromaster already, make that 8. So his lane is relatively secure.
That is true. I did not take that into account. A even last hit count, you know, within the first couple of minutes will tend to go towards the Shadow Fiend, if I'm not mistaken. Because it'll only get better for him. Okay. Well, on the bottom lane, the aggression seems to have slowed down a bit. We have the stack and pull on the easy camp here to try and get Lycan a little bit extra money. They're going to be turning on the Clinks now. He does not have invis yet, and they're going to be getting a very, very nice kill for his problems there on the Lycan.
Looks like Axe might get the counter kill on the Grimstroke.
Yeah, they might get the return kill. Yeah, and there's the spin to win. The spin to win denies the fun.
As soon as Axe walked into the tower acquisition range, he just spat, and that was unlucky.
Admin, he's doing it sideways.
I don't think Grimstroke would have gotten away from that anyway, but...
No, but meanwhile in top lane we have the tag team Ice Shards combo again on the AA. It looks like this one was just a bit of a trade of attacks between the two. AA fairly confident that his Naga had his back there, so he just turned an attack back.
Yeah, Tusk just being annoying, trying to stop the AA from pressuring Puck out of lane.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Lycan is being pressured under the tower. We have another free spin to win kill on the Axe. managed to battle hunger him and just chase him under the tower. Grimstroke going for the return kill there, but not quite getting it. The Wolves might be able to chase him down though. With one last attack from the Grimstroke, we'll be able to get the kill on him. The Wolves still chasing him down. One more attack from the Wolf might do it. Grimstroke going to get the last hit. So again, a 1-for-1 kill in bottom lane. And it looks like Grimstroke might be able to make more. Clinks does have the invis ready if he wants it. But it looks like he might be wanting to hold on to it. But Grimstroke now, he might have fallen for a bit of a trap here. Clinks is now trying to turn around with the turn, but the Inkswell will probably be enough to do it. And he manages to read the movements. Gets a very nice, what's the word? Unofficial double kill is the word I'm looking for.
Ah, there you go. Looks
that's a very nice return from
Grimstroke.
Yep. Well, I suppose that's what Tusk does in early game. Puck struggling to keep up the health there, but at least the last hits are on par and even slightly out ahead of the Naga at the moment. So we're starting to see a little bit of a, shall we say, a last hit advantage forming. It's not the end of the world just yet, but there is a definite advantage. The Windrunner might be to get there, but yes, and the courier goes down in mid lane. But Adisdam going down, he's going to be grabbing the bounty rune for his troubles. He loses the courier, but he grabs the bounty rune in return. And we have ourselves the first pause.
Yes, indeed. I'm just looking here at the different builds that everyone has. The Naga's definitely gone for a more farming build with the two Wraith Bands. That speeds up her farming quite a bit.
Yes.
It looks like on the side of...
we're going to have a kill, sorry. We missed it out there. The Puck top lane's going to get a kill here by the shrine.
Yes.
Or
yes.
outpost.
On the side of White Rabbit Gaming, it looks like they're looking to the Windrunner to prop up their mid-game as the mid-game carry with Javelin, which is to be expected.
Javelin's always good as first item.
Yeah, definitely. Coming out from Energy, very interesting setup here for Lycan. He is going before Boots Necrobook.
Not completely unusual. I have seen it before. The thing is, if you get it on time, it lines up very, very nicely with your first shapeshift. So you get to Necrobook and the shapeshift drops you at maximum move speed regardless of what boots you have. So you drop the Necros and you just chase someone down for that first quick kill.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It looks like we're getting ready to go here.
Okay, great. And on the side of the Clinks, looks like he's going to be going for a phase boots eventually, but to be decided. And there's a kill with the Puck on the AA again. Poor AA, busy getting beaten up a bit. He's 0 for 2. Not the end of the world, but
Windrunner's very low mid here.
Yes, she's being chased down. But meanwhile, where did that happen? I think he just dived to tier 1 and died. AA, you're getting a return kill on him. Oh, we have a little bit more aggression. Puck on Naga here, but nothing really going to come of it. Meanwhile, bottom lane, the Grimstroke, there you go, that Inkswell, getting him away like you said he'll probably be able to do earlier.
Yeah, very slippery support to try and kill if you don't have any magic damage.
They do have the Clinks, who's, I would say, one of the better heroes at being able to get easy kills. They've got to be very careful here. Axe is going to call them, and they're now going to be going on the Lycan, but I don't think they're going to have quite enough damage. For now, there's a good little bit of harassment, shall we say? But, yeah, not quite enough damage just yet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mid lane, Windrunner trying to get out of the way of the Shadow Fiend. The right click's starting to hurt a little bit, shall we say.
Yeah, the Shadow Fiend's just been on point with the Shadow Razors, and it's just bullying Windrunner out of lane. She does have Javelin and ult, so they're going to go for a kill here.
Yes, they should be able to get a very easy kill up top here. Naga going in, and she's going to be initiating the fight. It looks like they're going to be going on the Tusk first, and Tusk goes down. Puck manages to go up, and Jukes the opposite direction. He's just going to TP back to town, he'll be fine. But a nice little rotation, sort of the reveal of the Javelin, but it's a good use of it at least.
Good first kill to pick up for Windrunner. Also, they just decided to leave Puck. It wasn't worth it trying to find her in the bushes.
No, of course, it's a case of she's not really worth it. And we just had a courier kill, which feels good. It looks like Grimstroke managed to sneak in behind the off lane here and catch one of their couriers on the way back. And we're going to have an chance going down on the clicks. They do have the dust available, and the Inkswell are going to be stunning him up. They are not tag teaming, but it looks like they're going to be held back by the axe. Larkin running around, and he's going to be able to probably get the last hit on him. Yes, and he does. Now they're going to rotate onto the axe, but I don't think they have the damage. They definitely do not want to chase him under tower.
Lycan does have Necro Book now. He's going straight into Necro 3. He's not going to sidetrack for BKB or any other item, just straight Necro 3.
Okay, yeah. Well, again, I guess if you're going for an all or nothing build, you want to try and commit things as soon as possible, you know. The towers don't tend to run away from you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm just thinking on the side of...
Oh, it looks like we might have a fight on bottom. Sorry to interrupt you there. They're going to be diving on the axe, but there are some TP rotations coming in. Windrunner has a double damage. She should be able to take down... Yes, and she does. The Grimstroke goes down easily, but so does the axe. So there is the immediate rotation. The Windrunner does need to be very careful here, though, and there's that Lycan ult just being able to get him straight out of there. On the backline, however, Tusk, busy running into the Dire jungle. He's going to be chased down by the Clinks. He's trying to juke through trees, and it looks like he might just be okay with... Yeah, he denies himself. Meanwhile, in top lane, the Puck Dream Coil has been used, but it was a defensive one to try and get away. The AA will chase it down, but I don't think there's going to be any damage there either.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, definitely. There was just a back and forth there. Thinking about top lane, this Naga, would you think that she's going to go the Radiance or the Diffusal build?
Oh no, it'll be Diffusal build. They can't afford to go Radiance. They know that the side of energy are just far too aggressive this game. So there is no way they'll be able to afford giving Naga that kind of space. Now it looks like they will be going on her top. The tag team has been activated, and they are just going to try and spam her down. A couple of abilities already being used, and here comes the snowball. She's probably not going to be able to get away from this, although it looks like she's juking and running away, and she might even be able to get away from this, and she does. She gets into the trees, and she's gone. The Naga uses the ult. They're probably going to try and... I'm not sure what that ult was for.
Tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower.
Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Axe and Windrunner.
Dire's structures
Yeah.
are fortified.
I suppose just to be a bit safe, you know, you still got the Puck around there. You can jaunt in, you know, to the jungle at any point in time. Axe, meanwhile, in bottom lane is trying to busy push out tier 1.
Interesting thing about that fight that happened top. Naga hadn't leveled her ult, so she reached level 7 in the middle of that fight and used...
Oh, sorry, mid lane, Windrunner has just had Dream Coil put on her, and this should just be an easy cleanup. And meanwhile, on bottom lane, the kill able to go on the axe there. The Larkin busy using his Necro Book to very, very good effect. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but I assume it was an Inkswell with the Larkin Wolves and Necro Book, and they were just able to sort of hold them in and kill him.
Dire's middle tower is under
Yeah, Lycan is outputting a lot of damage, and he's got Necro 2 on the way.
Mid lane, Shadowfiend manages to get the tier 1. First tower falls on the side of energy. Meanwhile, bottom tower also falls on the side of energy. We're starting to see a little bit of a loss of control, I think is the best way to put it. And with that, the AA dials in top lane with a snowball and walrus punch.
Well, the best farm
we have Larkin using his ult. He's trying to get away, and he will get away.
The best farm in the game available at the moment is this triangle of creep camps, and now it's just completely open on the side of Dire. Very hard to defend.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can definitely see that was probably what Energy's concept was right from the beginning, you know? I mean, we always did say that they were going to have a very slippery, very live build, and now they're going to finish up the trifecta, and top lane falls to Lycan as well. So we're seeing ourselves a 4k gold lead, which is definitely not unassailable, but it is starting to get difficult.
Yeah, the way this early game has played out, it appears now that all this comes down to is, can White Rabbit Gaming hold off long enough for the Naga to come online?
Yeah, that does seem to be the unfortunate end here, doesn't it? And speaking of Naga, she's lined up the the Yasha as the first item, so we'll see. I don't know if they're going to go back for the defusal. There are rotations coming bottom in the meantime. Dream Core has already been committed to try and take out the Axe. Egg Swirl going down, the Walls attacking, and they Walrus punch him out of existence. Axe is now in space. They're going to be continuing, and the snowball does connect on the Windrunner. I thought she might be able to get out of range this time there. She's silenced up. And she will get taken down.
Kill.
The beautiful stroke of fate coming out there, managing to clip her right on the edge. But meanwhile in the jungle we have a Shadow Fiend busy chasing down the Naga, and he has a brand new fresh Yule Scepter. Uses it first time and manages to finish off the Naga. That was so close, her ult must have been milliseconds from going off. And now it looks like they're going to be able to go down bottom lane. We're probably just going to be able to take this tier 2 here. White Rabbit do have the tools to deal with it. No one's dead for too long. Naga back in 10 seconds. And I suppose the upside is that... The AL, okay, yeah. So this might be the first fight. You can see the AA sitting in the back line there, waiting for the good opportunity to drop it. Axe is running in, looking for some work, but Dream Coil's up again, and they managed to catch 2 and they're going to immediately delete the Clinks. Clinks bows back, so he wants to be a part of this fight. But I don't think that energy want to be part of this fight anymore themselves. Is Ashard's going up to try and hold him down, but it looks like Adistam might just see his last fight here. Yes, and he's going to be dropping down. Some very, very nice team play. The Clink's buyback at least was worth it. The ult was definitely part of that kill there. Meanwhile, in top lane, Puck and Larkin are now going in, and they should be able to get this AA in the back line. But they managed to get the cold feet. Will he be able to make it on time? He does. Naga now trying on the hunt here. I think Larkin's just going to be able to try TP out in the back line. And Puck managing to juke into the trees, but gets taken up by beautiful arrow out of nowhere. And so it looks like these. Yep.
Sorry, I missed it. Puck has managed to get Boots of Travel up as her first item, so whenever engages on anyone, she can just TP in and help him secure a kill.
Yeah, that is great, actually. You see the buckler on Grimstroke, so you make the assumption that the mechanism isn't too far off itself. And I've got to say though, when these fights do start breaking out, I feel like these teams don't really like me breathing.
No, they don't tend to stop. All around that just keep going on for hours.
Every coin helps.
Bottom lane, we have Clinks moving down, trying to posture a bit. I don't think they'll be able to find anything here, but access AA on your bar. If anybody stays, they're welcome. We have the Crimson Guard coming out first on Axe. And he's going to bypass that blink.
I don't think he has time to save up for it. He needs stats now, especially against the Lycan. The Lycan just chews through him.
Yeah, the Vanguard is definitely a value pickup early against that. But I gotta say, the side of Energy have just such a good combination of physical and magical damage. And that is one of the beautiful things that having a Shadow Fiend around brings you. You know, you might lose out on some of the... Meanwhile, sorry, bottom lane Clicks is gonna drop. He just gets insta-popped by the Tusk, but it looks like they should be able to get an easy return kill here. Lots of rotations coming in from White Rabbit. Meanwhile, top lane, Larkin popping his drums. He wants his tier 2. He gets his tier 2. White Rabbit are hanging around at the bottom here.
You just leave any lane unattended and Energy's going to snap it up. If either Shadow Fiend or Lycan is in the area, they can just munch through your towers.
Oh, as you say that, Larkin decides he's going to march up to tier 3 and say, make me a move. He is using his ult to try and get his creeps up there, but AA has none of it and immediately TP's home.
Tier 3 Lycan raid creep got killed by the tower, so no lasers popping out on any of the dying heroes.
None of the laser beams today, friend. I've got to say, this Puck, the TP Boots first item, that seems to have been fantastic first pick. Sorry, and meanwhile in top lane, Larkin just going in right on this poor little AA. He has been slapped around and is just not having a good time.
While that was happening, mid, Shadow Fiend, Yule's ult killed Windrunner.
Yeah, no, it is starting to get a little bit out of control, unfortunately, here. It's, oh, and as I say that, Clinks comes out of invisibility for about 1 millisecond, and immediately the whole team jump on him. And we'll be able to punish him here for his dive, by the looks of it, but on the backline, Axe manages to get a great call on the Shadow Fiend. They are going to be committing a couple ults here.
Dire's bottom
But
tower
Windrunner is just going to get used up. The byproduct of that is she didn't get Dream Called, but I think everybody's just happy to get the hell out of there. Meanwhile, top lane, Larkin doing Larkin things, but he probably will pay for with his life with this, and he manages to go down. Some good rotations to protect their tier 3, but it is only down to 300 health.
Dire's bottom tower is
Yeah,
under
that
attack.
gold went to Naga, which is very good for White Rabbit Gaming here. If
That is fantastic.
If that Naga manages to get Yasha before the Shadow Fiend gets BKB, they should be in a good position.
Well, so I mean, you can see she went back for the defusal. She had the Yasha lined up earlier, but obviously was happy enough with the way the farm was happening and went back for the defusal first. So it's a good way to try and get into the team fights. You know, she can. It's still nice stats for farming, but you're able to at least get involved in fights earlier, whereas the Yasha doesn't give you quite as much utility. So, what I was saying earlier, as Puck decides to go and poke at Axe a little bit, is that this first item pickup on the TP boots seems to have been one of the great lynch points of their team so far, because it's just causing White Rabbit to have to be everywhere. They can't let one person be by themselves, because there will always be 2 or 3 on the side of the energy there. And it looks like they will be going on to this good choke. Should be an easy enough kill. They do manage to get the ult off, and the Larkin is now coming back in to try and cause some chaos. But it's a great shackle shot there to hold the Larkin still. She is now committing, but she will die. Too much damage for her. Clinks has now been dusted up, and he's going to be dying too. So it's a 2-for-1 trade, and I don't think that was worth it.
No, definitely not. Even worse for White Rabbit Gaming, Energy knows they have a ward there now.
Yeah, you can see them picking it up, and there it goes.
Just a
like
side
Necro
effect
book.
of the like a Necro book, though. If you've noticed this game, Energy's vision has just been amazing in comparison to White Rabbit Gaming. They just can't keep the wall.
Yeah,
like
as you say, that Necro book is just such good value. This is going to be a very quick roach on as it's almost done already. All of that anti-armor stacking up on top of each other, combined with the tag team, just very, very good at taking down Rush. But that was always going to be the Energy's strategy. You know, right from the beginning, there were always going to be those objective gaming Dota, shall we say. But that being said, they're still able to be ahead on kills. But I think it's just the unrelenting aggression so far, and White Rabbit just do not have an answer to it. Definitely. I'm looking at the neutral items for the different teams right now. That Ring of Aquila, I'd be very surprised if it doesn't go on the Shadow Fiend. Well, the Essence Ring is also just very good, especially considering how squishy he is. It represents a much higher percentage of his health. You know, it's almost a third of his health pool in one item.
This Puck is amazing, by the way. She dodged a net, phase shifted through an arrow, and blinked away.
Good times. It looks like they want to be making a movement on the Windrunner here. Yep, blink, heals, and immediately going to be ulting on top of her. She will be dropping. Easy kill. There is an cold feet on the backline, but I don't think they'll be able to take the AA with them.
That's
something we failed to say is that there is now a Aegis on the Shadow Fiend as well, by the way. So not only does he have the Essence Ring to hold him, hold a bit of that extra health, but he has Aegis as well. And I don't think they'll be able to deal with 2 of them.
Especially not considering on that courier BKB.
BKB. Yeah.
They're going to take that full 10-second BKB and push high ground with it.
Dyer's middle tower
You know
has
what? They
fallen.
actually do not have to pressure this game right now. They obviously don't want to let it get too late because Naga late game is always just a absolute pain in the nuts to deal with. But they really do not have to rush themselves. Either they have the Aegis now, which is always a bit of a reason to push, but it's not like they don't have the opportunity. So Puck doing Puck things and just being on a complete rash on bottom lane. He's been cutting waves left, right, and center. It seems to be the only safe place that Nagi's found so far to farm, and that does show quite a lot in the farm on Naga. Meanwhile, on top lane, Windrunner is going to be going on Larkin, but is unable to finish the job. The Ice Block might will come in. He may tick down from this.
No, he should be fine.
Nah, you're right. Yeah, not quite enough damage being done by the Windrunner, unfortunately. I've got to say, this Windrunner does not seem to have done the job that was needed this game, unfortunately.
Well, I think the major issue is Energy just has all the tools they need to deal with her.
Yeah.
Windrun's not
Meanwhile, bottom
the
lane,
survivability she needs.
Puck is just being a rash again. Uses Illusory Orb to juke them out. Phase shifts, blinks away after he heals. Very nice. Mid lane, and it looks like they're going to be wanting to go on the axe. They commit the Requiem, and they're just going to be 3 raises, and he's gone.
That new Shadow Fiend fear from the old just allows you to get 3 Shadow Razors on someone, one after the other.
Yeah, it's so
much
free.
damage.
And it looks like we're going to be able to get a follow-up kill, breaks the tether, and dies. But I don't think she really had much of a choice there, to be fair. I've got to say, this push here, if White Rabbit aren't able to stop it, this very well might just be GG. On the backline, couple of Naga illusions pulling back the wave. She is desperately trying to cut the wave here, but unfortunately I don't think it's going to be enough. With the Larkin, they just need 1 or 2 creeps. Yeah, they only need 1 or 2 creeps to make sure that there's no backdoor protection, and that's that. They're going to rotate top, they're going to just try and push this advantage. Top tower was low already, so it's going to go down 2. We're going to have a melee rack going down, and White Rabbit just have to stand here.
To give you an idea of how confident Energy was with their pushing potential, Shadow Fiend went 25 movement speed over.
And it looks like we're going to have another big team fight here. The Archons comes rolling in and manages to catch only the Tusk. But now Energy are coming back in and they're going to be able to take the things down very quickly. There's been coil on the 3, which is fantastic. The Shadow Fiend going in, BKB has been used. Larkin running around trying to cause some damage. Actually, now the front line here, he might be able to take him down. They might be able to get this Larkin. No, but the dunk just is not quite enough. Great shackle shot in the background, but Windrunner manages to power shot him down. And they are, but she gets popped by the Puck for her troubles. So we have ourselves a 2 for 1. And, 3 for 1. The Aegis and the Shadow Fiend is down. So,
Like it's saying sorry there, not sure why.
a little bit of BMing. Never hurt anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're Arteezy, of course.
Unfortunately, as I was saying before that fight broke out, Energy is so confident in their push that they decided on the Shadow Fiend not to go presence or effects buildings. He went to 25 movement speed instead. Rather than 7 armor reduction on buildings, they're like, nah, don't need it.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, I mean, the damage on the Larkin is quite insane, let's be honest. It's, I really don't think they need extra damage on buildings. And meanwhile, bottom lane, where they are going to go on the Tusk here, he almost manages to get a return kill on the Clinks. They might be able to do, yeah, no. They can pop the Clinks quite easily. The rest of White Rabbit were like, haha, not my problem, bye. Oh, and it looks like we have a Missules on the Shadow Fiend. And a nice friendly tip there from the axe. Sometimes you just get a little bit too eager with that Yules.
Dyer's bottom tower is under
And the last tier 2 will be dropping here. And I think they have the tools to just walk up Yule. Oh, Yules, and we're going to have a Requiem with BKB. The Windrunner is going to gonna die for this. Yeah. The Windrunner's down, 47 seconds. She does have buyback, and she uses it immediately. Snowball in the backline to try and hold the axe back. They are gonna just be poking him from a distance. A nice Warlock punch to hold him up in the air. And Green Coil on 2. They managed to take down the axe. Windrunner's back, and that's a dieback. AA dies on the backline from what is effectively just collateral. And yeah, this is probably going to be a GG. Axe is probably going to die a second time here. Naga on the back line, but she's not going to be able to do much. Axe dies a second time. That's dieback number 2. They have mega creeps. This has got to be the game. I feel like White Rabbit are going to let this one just run out. It is a single elimination, so there's no reason to not. But I think their dreams of winning this tournament are officially over. With that that wipe there, we have the 2 diebacks, no axe, no Windrunner, no Naga, no AA.
They have
a 4th position clicks.
Yeah, they have the team to fight against mega creeps. They don't have the items though.
And we have a bounty dropped on the clinks, and it's been claimed. Good times. But yep. All right. Well, trivialities now. We're going to knock down the 2 tier 4s and smack away at the ancient. I feel like that kind of went the way we were expecting. Maybe a little bit more violently, but definitely the way we thought it would.
Yeah, the lack of meat on White Rabbit just became a bit too apparent from the early game. And Energy capitalized on it 100%.
Have you had to call yourself a MVP for this game?
Shadow Fiend, hands down.
Shadow Fiend? Yeah. That is damn playing a fantastic Shadow Fiend this game. Well, so, we can confirm that means that White Rabbit Gaming are knocked out in the first round. I don't think there's very many tournaments you're going to hear that, but unfortunately they had the great fortune of going up against Energy, who do seem to just be on form at the moment. So, we're going to be following through into next game, where we will be seeing Energy Esports against the winner of Game 6. So, we'll be there for it, and we'll see you there. Thank you for enjoying it, and we'll see you soon.